Alright, so we continue with exam papers. Okay, alright, so this is 2016, 2017 and 2018 exam papers. Okay, they are mixed. Okay, so someone posted that we solve this question here. Okay, so let's say we have our solution down below. That's here. Okay, so how do we solve this? The first question, that is, we can start with A, right? So our A, the question is, it is given that 10 to the power x is equal to 3 and 10 to the power y is equal to 9. What is the value of 10y minus x? Okay, 10 raised to the power y minus x. Okay, so here we're using indices rules. Okay, we know that if we have a, okay, we have a to the power, let's say a to the power x, right, divided by a to the power y. Okay, this can be written using indices laws, right? This can be written as a, right, x minus y, isn't it? So this is the property that we are using here. Okay, so if you are not familiar with indices laws, make sure you, before you proceed here, go back and check on the laws of indices. Okay, so we'll use the same principles here. So here we have 10 raised to the power x is equal to 3 and y raised to the power y is equal to 9. So what we want to find is 10 raised to the power y, okay, raised to the power y, so raised to the power y minus x, but we know that this can be written as 10 to the power y. Okay, so 10 raised to the power y divided by 10 raised to the power x. Now this, we've been given what 10 raised to the power y is. Okay, so this is 9 from the question, and 10 raised to the power x, this is nothing but 3, right? So dividing 3 into 9, that will give us 3 again. Okay, so that's our solution for A. Now we go for B. So in B, we are told a set has 3 elements. How many subsets does it have? Okay, so here we're going to use method 1 and method 2, right? So let's say we have method 1. I'm going to write mn as method 1. We can count and we can learn how to count. Okay, so we can assume the set that we have is this one, containing elements, 3 elements, any elements you can think of. We can use A, B, C. Okay, others would use 1, 2, 3, others will use P, K, D, others will use W, X, Y, any variables you can use, or numbers, as long as they represent elements. Okay, they supposed to be 3. So the subset we can have from this one is that first we can have the same one which we have here. So we can have 1, B, that is A, B and C. Okay, from this one we can have A, right? We can have A, B, okay, a set containing A and B, so it's just a subset. And we can have a set containing AC, right? AC. Apart from that, we can have a set containing BC, right? A set containing B and C. Next, we can have a set containing A, right? Just A. We can also have a set containing B, right? Again, we can have a set containing C, right? And we can have the last set, which is an empty set, right? So all these are subsets of this set, which is containing 3 elements. Now let's count how many subsets have we listed so far. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many subsets does this set have? The number of subsets, okay? So the subset, so we're going to say the subset is equal to 8. So this set, which has 3 elements, has 8 subsets, okay? Alright, so this was method 1. Now we have method 2, which we can use right here on top, okay? We can use the formula if you want, okay? We know that the number of subset, which is S, is equal to 2 raised to the power n, okay? Now substituting n with number of elements, where n represents or denotes number of elements, okay? Number of elements of that set, right? Okay, we can get 2 to the power, how many elements of this set that we have? It's 3, right? So 2 raised to the power 3, that will give us 8 number of subset. All right, so these are the methods you can use, okay? All right, now we can go to this question here. Okay, so the question here, this one here, that is question 4. Okay, so this question 4 says a plane all right, is it, do we have, okay, that's it. So a plane flew from town A, which is on latitude 67 degrees south, longitude 40 degrees east, to a town B, which is on longitude 23, that is latitude 23 degrees north, and longitude 40 degrees east. Okay, calculate the distance AB in kilometers, where R is 370 kilometers and the pi we are told to use 22/7. Okay, so if you want to really understand the question, you can draw it. Okay, so drawing the information here on the diagram, it will look like this. You are going to have the latitude, okay, which is on south direction, that is 67 degrees south, and you have another latitude on 23 degrees north, and you have your longitude on 40 degrees east, right? So that is 40 degrees east there, okay? That is east. Okay, so this is how this information can be presented in the question, on the diagram. Okay, so let me use this color, and the formula for the calculating the distance along the longitude is this one. Okay, so we have AB is equal to theta divided by 360 multiplied by 2 pi r. Okay, now what will be our theta? How do we calculate for the theta? So our theta is the difference in latitudes. All right, so how do we do that? So we have 23 degrees north, right? So we have 23 degrees north, and we have 67 degrees. That is 67 degrees south, right? So what are we going to do here? We find the difference, so that will give us that's 90, right? So that will give us nothing but 90. Okay, so we are just adding here. You can look at the signs. We have north and south. Okay, so different signs we add, same signs we subtract. Okay, we take it that way. Okay, so we are getting 90 here, right? So we are getting nothing but 90. Okay, so we can proceed. So in the formula here we have AB, right? So we have AB is equal to substituting 90 on top there, divided by 360. Okay, we have 360. Now 360 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 22 divided by 7, right? Multiplied by our R, we've been given as 6370, right? 6370, that is in kilometers. So you can simplify this. You know that 19 to 90 is 190 to 36, I mean 360. That will give you 4, right? And you can get your 2 multiplied by 22 over 7, right? Multiplied by 6370, right? Okay, so this is what we are getting there, isn't it? Okay, now you have to, so this is paper 1, right? And in paper 1 you don't use a calculator, so the best way to solve this one is just to keep on reducing it. Okay, all right, so you know that you can reduce by saying 2 into 4 there, so that you get 1, and the first part will be 1 over 2. Okay, you can reduce by that one, then the remaining I think you can just multiply, and that will be the easiest thing to do. That will be the easiest thing to do. And so when you do everything, you simplify, you divide by 28 at the bottom, you supposed to get you are going to get the answer to be at 10,000. Okay, let me just reduce this. So you should be able to get this answer. All right, now this distance is in kilometers. Okay, so this is the answer that you're supposed to get. Okay, you can confirm, but the diagram is correct, the formula is correct, the theta is correct. Yeah, you can just confirm, and if you have any question, make sure you ask. I'll be able to attend to you. All right, okay, so the other question someone asked is this one here. Okay, this formula, the question here. So the question, that is question 13, says the diagram below shows an isosceles triangle. So one thing you need to take note of is that what you are dealing with is an isosceles triangle, and you need to right away recall the properties of an isosceles triangle, right? So where AB and BC are equal, that is x minus 3, yeah, and that is centimeters, and the angle ABC is given to be 90. Now find the value of x. So how do we find the value of x? So this is under trigonometry. Okay, so how do you find the area? Now remember, the area here you have been given, right? So your area, you are told to have 18 centimeters squared as your area for this triangle. Okay, so you are going to use the area formula for the triangle. Okay, and what's the formula? So for the triangle under trigonometry, we have area is equal to half, right, multiplied by BA or AB, right, sine, the sine of the theta that you have. Okay, so substituting what we have here, we are going to have okay, let me write it here at the bottom. So our A, okay, our area is 18, right? Then we have half multiplied by, so our A is x minus 3. So A is just one side and the other A is the other side. So you have x minus 3, again x minus 3 as your B, right? So this one can be your A, this one can be your B, or you can do the opposite. And here you have the sine of 90, right? Okay, so now what are we getting there? You know that multiplying, that is 18, multiplying 18 by 2, that is giving you nothing but 36, right? So this side you are going to have 36 is equal to this one here, you are getting x minus 3 squared, right? We can, the two we can, when we multiply, we are getting x minus 3 squared, right? Multiply by, now what is sine 90? Okay, these are standard angles which you need to know. So you know that sine 90 is nothing but equal to 1, right? So what we are having here is 1. So it's like you're multiplying times 1. What you have here is 1, okay, which will give you 1 and which will be the same thing. Okay, so what we are having here is, we are having let me write it here. Okay, I'll use yellow. So what we are getting is x, in brackets we have x minus 3, right, squared is equal to 36, right? So we want to get rid of the square, you introduce the square root there, right? And you're going to get x minus 3 is equal to 6, right? And this means your x is nothing but 3, right? So this is the value of x you are looking for, right? Is there another question that someone posted here? There's no question. Okay, there is this question here someone also posted, that is question 16. I'm just answering the question that you posted that you are unable to answer. Okay, so if there are still more questions in this paper that you think you are unable to answer, you need assistance, you can tick that question and then post it in the group. All right, so question 16, someone posted it as well. So question 16 says, it is given that V over t minus a is equal to d. Find the value of d when v, okay, when v is 10, t is equal to -2, and a is equal to -4. Okay, so how do you solve this one? So we have our solution here. Okay, so we start with a. So how do we solve a? We just need to replace. So we have d. We are told d is equal to v over t minus a, right? Where our v is 10, right? And our t is nothing but -2 minus our a is -4. So you open your bracket there and write your 4, right? And what are you getting here? So at the bottom here you are getting 2, right? So you are having 10, that is 10 here, divided by -2, right? Plus 4. Okay, let me show this. So this is giving you nothing but 5. Okay, so that is how you solve for a. Okay, now let's go for b. Okay, so we have b. Now b, we are told to express a in terms of v, t, and d. So in short, we are being asked here to make a the subject of the formula. So how do we do that? From the expression that we have d is equal to v over t, right, minus a. Okay, so how do we solve this one? So you cross multiply. That's the first step. So when you cross multiply, what you are getting is you are going to get d, right, outside the bracket. So you're going to get d multiplied by t minus a, right? T minus a, this is a, okay, is equal to v, right? This is v. Now the next thing that you are going to do is to multiply through by d, right? We have d outside the brackets. Okay, so this is what we have. D is outside the brackets on the left side, and this side we have v, and we want to make a the subject of the formula. So you divide through by d, right, and also by d this side, and by cancellation rule, d and d, you are going to remain with t minus a is equal to what? That will give you is equal to v over d, right? Now you want a the subject of the formula. Okay, so making a the subject of the formula gives us a is equal to v, right? Okay, that's t, right, minus v over, remember I want a to remain alone here. Okay, so making a the subject of the formula is what is leading us to here. Okay, I'm sure you understand how we are doing it here. Okay, but if you have any question, you don't know how this is coming to be this, you can let me know. Okay, I'll be able to explain further. All right, so here we have expressed a in terms of t, v, and d. So your answer can be like this, or your answer can be d. Okay, it's the common denominator, right? Okay, and here you are going to have t, right? That's t minus v. Okay, yes, so this is how we can express a in terms of t, v, and d, right? Okay, I think these are the only questions which people posted, right? Okay, so if this question has been solved, someone ticked it, I can see here. I've posted it in the group. You can just look for the video, okay, on YouTube. All right, so I've answered this one. Okay, and this one we can answer it. Okay. All right, we can as well solve this one. All right, so if there are other questions you think we need to solve together, you can post. All right, so the question here says, you need to understand the question first. So the information that we have in the question is shown in the diagram. All right, so one thing you need to understand is that we have two parallel lines. All right, so this one and this one here, so these are two parallel lines and they are equal. So we have 24 kilometers there, and we can say we also have 24 kilometers there. Okay, so before you even start solving, you need to understand what this means. All right, so that's what we have. And so question A, we have been asked to calculate the value of angle PQT. So that's PQT, that's this angle here, right? So this is the angle at Q. So how do we solve this one? Okay, using the properties of when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal line, using those properties, you were able to tell that if this is 90, okay, what we have here is 90. So the transversal line is cutting these two parallel lines at 90. Okay, so we have what we call allied angles, right? And subtracting that allied angle on one side, we are going to get a 90 there, right? So, and inside here we have 90. Okay, if you've forgotten properties, you can watch my video. Okay, should be the first or second video. All right, under angles I've explained those properties, and that's what we are using here. Okay, you look at the transversal line and how we use that property. Okay, so we have 90 degrees here. Okay, and we need this one. We know that a triangle adds up to 180, right? I proved that statement in the third video. Okay, just scroll down and find the video. You can watch those properties. Okay, now that we know what we want, so we can let this one be A. Okay, the angle we want to be A. So we know that this is a triangle we are considering now. Okay, and we know that the total interior angles of the triangle adds up to 180. So adding A, the value of A plus 75, right, degrees, plus 90 degrees, right? This should give us 180, right? So we need to get 180. That will be the sum. Now, collecting like terms here, we are going to have 180 minus, so we are going to adding, that is 90 plus 75, you are just going to get 165, right? So So we are subtracting 180 minus 165, right? And what are you getting there? You are getting your value of A will be, okay, so that is degrees, and we have 165 degrees, and we are getting 15 degrees here as the angle. Okay, so our angle, the value of angle P, right? P Q T is equal to 15 degrees. Okay, all right, we can now come to B. Okay, so B, we are being asked to calculate the length of that's PQ. I want you to take note of the shape for PQ. Okay, now PQ is a triangle, right? Okay, this is what we have. So what we have is a triangle, and we have this side here at the bottom, right? So this side at the bottom is 24, right? And this side we have 13 degrees from P to M, right? And we have 6 kilometers, I mean, as the distance. So PM is 13 kilometers, the distance, and 6 kilometers is the distance for QR, right? If you want to find the distance PT, we are going to subtract, we're going to say 13 minus 6, and that will give us 7. So 7 is just the distance here. Okay, so there it's 6, and here it's 6, and there it's 7, giving us 13. So what we're getting this side, it's 7. So we have 7 and 24. And what is this line here? So this is our hypotenuse. So we can use Pythagorean Theorem to calculate for the length of PQ. So we can say our PQ here, right? Our PQ can be calculated by PQ squared, that is using Pythagoras. PQ is equal to PT, that's PT squared, right? PT squared plus TQ, right? TQ squared, right? Now our hypotenuse is what we are looking for. So this, substituting what we have, our PT, okay, let's do this. Okay, our PT is 7, right? So we substitute there, plus our TQ is 24, right? So this is 24 squared, right? Now what are you getting? So you have your PQ here, right, which is squared, is equal to yes, that's PQ, that's PQ squared. Now you know that 24 squared, that will give you 576, and 7 squared, that's 49, right? So you have that's 49 plus 576, you are getting 623, right? So you are getting 623 there. Okay, that is 623. That's what you are getting. Okay, you can confirm that. So we want to get rid of the square there, and the length of PQ. So we are going to write it here. Okay, so your PQ is equal to the square root, okay, of 623. Alright, so this is paper 1, and so you don't have a calculator, and this number doesn't have a perfect square root, so you leave it like this. Okay, I think this is where we end. These are the only questions which you posted that you needed help. Okay, so if there are any more questions, make sure you post. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos. See you in the next video.